The Curse of the Pharaohs. Who awakened the dead? Do you believe there are doors that, once opened, can never be closed? Doors that lead not to treasure, but to darkness itself? In 1922, deep in Egypt's arid desert, British archaeologist Howard Carter stood before a stone doorway buried beneath centuries of sand. This was no ordinary door, it was the gateway to the tomb of a young pharaoh, King Tutankhamun. The moment it opened, a scent drifted out. It wasn't the smell of dust, but something older than death itself, like a room sealed for millennia, with no air, no light, only silence and the unknown. Etched into the wall beside the entrance, the ancient Egyptians had left behind a chilling warning. Death shall come on swift wings to him who disturbs the king's peace. But they ignored it. Some laughed. Others dismissed it. One man said, the ancients believed in superstition. But that night, no one laughed. The curse had begun. At first, it was small things. Dogs barked at nothing. Tents shook without wind. One of the workers swore he heard a scream coming from beneath the ground. Then came the first blow. Lord Carnarvon, the expedition's financier, died suddenly just days after the tomb was opened. A mosquito bite on his cheek turned into a strange, rapid infection. At the exact moment of his death, all the electricity in Cairo went out. Time of death, 2:05 a.m. A black bird had circled his window 5 times before crashing dead at his feet. One hotel guest said. It looked at us, like it knew. His body bore a wound in the same spot as the scar found on Tutankhamun's mummified face. Coincidence? Maybe. But it wouldn't be the last. They began to fall one by one. George Herbert, a friend of Carter, died of a mysterious fever in London days after returning home. A professor who dissected the mummy was found dead in his office, his eyes covered in fine, dark ash, no one knew where it came from. Carter's personal secretary was discovered sitting lifeless in his chair, eyes wide open, fixed to the floor, where a deep scratch had been carved in the wood, the inverted eye of Horus. Some didn't die, but what followed was worse. One man went temporarily blind. He screamed that the darkness had burned his eyes from within. Another began to hear whispers in only his right ear every night, the same word repeated. Leave. One of the local guards vanished without a trace. No body, no clothes, nothing. But the next day, a torn piece of his uniform was found inside the sarcophagus. It hadn't been there the night before. Even Howard Carter, though he lived longer than the others, showed signs of deep mental torment. His journals reveal disturbing thoughts. Every night, I hear someone whispering my name, and I feel something watching me from the shadows. I dream of a hallway with no end, lined with statues that move when I turn my back. Western newspapers called it the Curse of the Pharaohs. But locals had a different name. The King's Wrath. An old woman in Luxor warned the team. The treasures of the kings are not yours. What you take with your hands, their spirits will reclaim. Every person who took even the smallest item from the tomb experienced strange misfortunes. House fires. Sudden deaths. Financial ruin. Illness with no diagnosis. Some artifacts were eventually returned secretly to Egypt, in unmarked packages. Inside were notes that read, "Take it back. I don't want it anymore. I haven't slept since I took it." 100 years have passed, and still the question lingers. Was it a curse? Or a true warning from a civilization far ahead of its time? Was it all just a string of eerie coincidences? Or, is there something buried with Tutankhamun that has never gone back to sleep? And you, do you believe the curse of the pharaohs is just a myth? Or is there something they buried that should never be awakened? Candle, tell us what you think. Is the curse of the pharaohs a legend, or a terrifying truth?